Welcome back. Welcome back, everybody, to the new take on search. Finally, the mic is getting on. Our new take on search, everybody of you is probably searching in a different way. You would have done it years ago. You might go to marketplaces like Amazon or any other retailer. You might use the normal search engine called Google. You might use some social platform like Pinterest, or you might rely on some recommendation engine in the future when you're searching for products or something to buy, and you might rely on Kenshoo. So these four companies are here more or less and will give us their latest insights about search, how it's changing, how they are helping us to find the right brands, the right products, and how to do marketing in a perfect way in terms of search technology or search platforms. And that's the problem about technology. Sometimes it takes away all your notifications that you have on your tablet when you don't have paper anymore. So, but talking about search, let's get the speakers up that are helping us to understand where we need to be and what marketers need to be able to do. So first of all, and you clap your hands ideally when you hear the people coming up on stage, because that gives them kind of a good feeling and makes them also a bit happy. Global VP of Performance Advertising at Amazon, Colleen Aubrey, come out. Then we have the Chief Search Evangelist at Google, Niklas Davot. Hi, Colleen. Then we've got the CEO and Chairman of the Board at Kenshoo, Yoav Isa-Prato. And the Head of Marketing Partners at Pinterest, Michael Ackerman. Good to have you all here. Michael,
hello.
Take a seat here.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Or there, wherever you want. Oh, they're very friendly and nice to each other. I like that a lot. I've not seen that before. Really cool how you're doing it. So first of all, we need your participation of the audience. Please grab the remote controls underneath your seats. I see everybody's moving down. That's good. Everybody knows what they have to do. First of all, our question is, you see it on these two screens, what is the next big thing in search? A, we've got visual search is going to overrule keyword search. B, voice search will be the hottest trend. C, retail media with its, special customer knowledge is going to win. Or, despite all of the new trends, the classic search engines will continue to lead the fields. So please press your buttons now so we see what you guess and what you think. And I want to ask Colleen, what do you think? What's going to win here?
Depends if people go with what's cool and top of mind. I don't know that you need to split. I think there's a world where each channel has its own role.
Okay. Yoav?
Yeah, so very much the same. I think it's becoming a multi-sense environment. So search is becoming really a cognitive experience for folks rather than being very explicit. So while from a scale perspective, search engines will still lead in the coming years, the trend is very much into the multi-sense environment, which is kind of all of the above.
Michael?
So I actually think the term classic search engine is a bit of a misnomer, because I feel that with the evolution, what we're here to talk about is really the evolution of new search engines, whether they be voice or visual or text-based, location-based. And so I honestly feel that despite all of the new trends, search engines will continue to evolve and we will continue to see new search engines.
And what is Google's perception of it?
No, I think it's all of the above. I think consumers want to search on every device and get quick answers. So removing friction, making things really simple and easy is the right answer.
Okay, Niklas, let's see what the answer is going to be. Can we have the results, please? So voice search will be the hottest trend. Obviously, it's a hot trend. And then, okay, so the new trends, classic search is still very popular. Now, hottest trend, obviously, I have to admit, I mentioned it backstage. I bought for my kids Alexa, so we've got a new woman in our house. And they are testing out more or less all the wildest questions, I would say. And I don't want to repeat most of them. But very often, you've got always an answer. is that because there's a huge database in the back end, or how do you actually do it?
It's a really good question, and I don't work on the Alexa product. I know there's a bunch of smart people that are busy working on sort of understanding and anticipating what customers are interested in. But I can't speak specifically to how they do that.
Okay, but you can tell us probably how you're implementing marketing solutions in the future in these kind of products, right?
Yeah, it's a good question, and I think Echo and Alexa present some really exciting opportunities moving forward. Where we're really focused, though, is starting with our core shopping experience and finding ways for marketers to get the products that they care about in front of customers, and customers finding products that they love. And I think that will come in many different forms, from mobile to desktop experiences to voice and whatever comes beyond that.
Does it already help your kind of shopping or the figures that are actually driving your business in terms of, do you do revenue already via Alexa and via Echo?
So your question is, what's the commerce on Echo? Is that your question?
What's the commerce? Is there actually commerce happening already in terms of, because that's obviously the audience thinks that's the kind of trend.
Yeah, I don't know. Mike, is there commerce happening on Google?
Yes.
So they're handing it on to Google. Let's see, what is the terms of Google? What can you say about that?
No, I think it's the voice search answer is a great answer. So more than half of our queries today are on mobile, and more than 20% of those are on voice searches today. So we're seeing this trend happening as we speak. And I think to your question about why is Alexa or Google Home able to answer questions better, what we're seeing is a significant improvement in machine learning over the last few months that is making this possible. The best example of that is the game of Go, which is the most complex game that we know. It has more permutations than the number of atoms in the universe. And now the game has been beaten by machine learning algorithms. So we're seeing pretty amazing improvement in the quality of search results for the last few months based on machine learning.
Do you sometimes fear, because Google was kind of the master in search, everybody said if you want to do some advertising in search, it was Google. So now you see all these kind of competitors. Does it sometimes scare you to see that people are actually using different platforms, different technology, that they are changing search?
And you're right, people are. I mean, there's a recent study that came out. This is more than 55% of product searches are on Amazon today, and only 22% are on search engines. Competition is good. We want people to find what they're looking for everywhere they go. I mean, I'm currently remodeling my house, and I'm using Pinterest to do that, so that's wonderful. So I think we're competitors, but we're also great partners.
In terms of, you just mentioned Pinterest, so you handed perfectly on to Michael. You've more or less changed your platform in a way that people experience it. Years ago, you were kind of a social network. That's how people thought you are competing with Instagram or Facebook or whoever. Now again, you're changing a bit into a discovery platform, you said before.
Yeah.
So how is that happening? Why did you change your business model in that way?
Yeah, great question. I think for us, we were always a visual search and discovery engine. Inevitably, the market has specific silos that we all deal with, whether you're brand side, agency side, technology side. And it was a bucket that we got put into. When we look at how people use our platform, it really is visual discovery. 2.5 billion queries occurring each month, and people are ultimately trying to find ideas to move further down the funnel and then interact beyond Pinterest onto other channels. And so it wasn't so much a business shift as more the market has started to recognize what we are. And what we're seeing is agencies as well as advertisers are actually moving away from this siloed approach of search and social and email and affiliate into performance marketing or biddable media, where effectively it's about a brand being able to connect with a consumer in whatever mindset they're in.
What are the famous marketing solutions that people are actually using at the moment in terms of search on Pinterest?
Yeah, so we have keyword-based search. We have, you can deconstruct a specific image and search for individual, like that light or that table. You can also use the camera to take a picture of anything in real life. So anyone who's listening, who has Pinterest on their phone right now, pull it out, go to the camera, take a picture of your neighbor's shoe, And ultimately, it's about bringing search into the real world. For us, our goal is to help people enrich their lives. So we want them to get ideas and possibilities on Pinterest and then go over to marketers or brands and purchase those products or services, effectively get off Pinterest and go enact and do in their everyday lives.
Now, a lot of brands and marketers are using, obviously, Kenshoo in their platforms, the marketplaces. I mean, Amazon, you're partnering as far as I know. Are you also partnering as well already? Because I didn't know that.
Agree.
So you're almost on every platform. Your recommendation engine seems to be the solution at the moment for everybody out there in terms of shopping. So tell the people why you are so prominent. Why is there nobody else kind of competing with you?
Well, first, I think we're missing Facebook on this stage to kind of complete the picture of what it means to be a consumer nowadays. It's just happy times. I mean, we have so many options, and we are kind of intuitively going and using all these options. So I totally agree with Nick. These are not competing. These are kind of completing, if you want, solutions. I think what's happening is that marketeers find themselves pretty kind of behind where consumers are going, and this is where Kenshoo comes in. I mean, we're this neutral technology that helps bring all the light that these guys are bringing to the table. We just released today the support in bringing Amazon to all of our consumer base, and with that, I think there is a new age where it's not anymore just about performance marketing. This is about how brands are reaching consumers in a highly cognitive manner. So whether it's about offline to online, visual, voice, all that AI behind it, it's about being more human and actually marketing to what it was, like art and experience and getting the word out there. And yeah, and we've been very, very focused on the technology and product so as to be empowering the marketeer. We've never taken a stand on buying media and making their recommendations, but rather giving them the machine to help them run their business. And that's why it's shaping form as according to what each and every business needs this technology to be. And I guess this is why we were successful.
I agree with Yoav. I think what we're observing is that customers have more options than ever before to find and think and discover and learn. And it's really about marketers being present at the time that customers they want to reach are expressing an interest.
I have to admit, I'm very often on social platforms. I get a lot of offerings, whether it's from Amazon, whether it's from Pinterest or any other platform. And very often I really act according to it. I really very often buy products I didn't really want to buy. So it's more or less search is coming to me in the future. That's the feeling I get now. Is that true? Or do you experience that yourself as well? That people actually buy the recommendation engines or buy basically being overwhelmed from marketing informations, they all of a sudden buy at Amazon?
If I think about what we're trying to do is really, we do have a performance product which is keyword based, and that's an important signal that customers are giving us about what they're interested in. But we also have programmatic offerings and display offerings, and I think we see many different ways that customers are interacting with and learning about products that they love. And so from my perspective, it's about being present and available at the time that it's meaningful for customers and using many different formats of advertising to do that.
I would, just from our perspective, and I think the fact that you're remodeling your house and you're looking for ideas is perfectly what we're trying to build. So there are times when you don't know how to articulate that neo-modern look for a dining table or how you want to set up your room. And so you want the search to come to you. You want the discovery availability to go through ideas. And ultimately, for us, the focus on being able to bring you personalized, localized content, but really base it on a visual perspective. Like, we humans understand visuals 60,000 times quicker than text, than words. We eat with our eyes. There's a reason I say I see what you mean. And so for us, we're really trying to bring that discovery element to people so that they can get ideas to help move them down the purchasing funnel, if that's the end goal.
Is that kind of similar on your shopping area in Google? Is that kind of similar that people are really going and shopping, they are typing in some keywords and they're going shopping and finding various products they actually buy? Or is it Are they going away from the platform still very often?
I think it's a combination of everything we just said, right? There's really high intent things, like I'm looking for something, right? I'm shopping for something, so if I'm searching for something, it's very, very high intent. There's more discovery, where I'm not exactly sure what I want, I'm looking for a recommendation. And that's what's happening in search. More and more of it is becoming predictive. So if you look at the Google Assistant, for example, we're trying to have more conversational search, where the computer learns your language as opposed to the other way around. We're trying to be assistive as quickly as possible, so we give you a fast answer. And we're trying to predict what you need even before you ask for it. So a good example of that is a directions to a meeting before you even go to the meeting. So using machine learning, again, we're trying to be smarter and smarter and smarter and be more and more helpful and remove the friction and to figure out what people, when they want something, we're there to help them. When they're trying to discover something, or when we think they need something but they haven't asked for it yet as well.
Is that also one of the elements you're working on in terms of machine learning for the future?
Yeah, we've been there for years. We are at the point in which we feel like we need to make sure that machines are there to help humans make decisions and empower people. So as we have to be careful so it doesn't replace people and disconnect them from reality. So we're now more and more pitching to marketeers. We have all this machine learning going on for years. Make sure that you put your own self in that decision-making promise, and then you're being very attentive to your consumers and connect that find that emotional moment. Because when I started Kenshoo, there was only search and pure intent. That was the world of performance. And then all of a sudden there is this social media and then discovery and now e-com as a whole ecosystem. So the pace by which things are coming at marketeers is increasing. And it's not only vertical, it's actually horizontal. It's a full scope kind of a thing. So, and very soon it will be the augmented reality, so it's another dimension, and then the virtual, another dimension. So it's whole new worlds, parallel worlds that if you're a marketeer, you have to get acquainted with the idea that you need those machines to help you elevate the conversation, thinking, decisioning, and executing, which is, this is what we are trying to achieve.
Let me follow up on that. I think it's a really important point. I have two recommendations for all marketers that are using search. The first one is to automate. Automate the keyword selection, the bidding as much as possible. We're seeing really great results from advertisers doing that today. So that's my number one recommendation. The second one is after people have, the consumers clicked on something, then we hand them off to you. And the expectation of the consumer now is very, very high. People want to do something very quickly. They want to do it really well. So work a lot on the experience on your site. Make your mobile sites really fast. Make them mobile friendly. Make your app spectacular. I'll give you an example. My favorite example is the Domino's Pizza app with zero-click ordering. Right? You order a pizza from Domino's. You tell it where you live. You tell it your favorite pizza, and then you open up the app a week later, and it says, "We'll order the same pizza for you in 10 seconds," unless you click on something. So 10, 9, 8, 7. Pizza shows up half an hour later. So just the removal of friction, making things easy for the consumer is critical, and then automate.
So in terms of Amazon, you've changed a bit the business model in terms of how you present marketeers on your platform. Years ago, you would have directed people straight to your products. Nowadays, advertisers can also advertise on your page, on a marketplace, and direct them somewhere else. What is your latest experience with that?
Yeah, it's a good question. Actually, the first ad product I worked on launching for Amazon was called Product Ads. And it was for retailers to drive traffic from Amazon to their website. And we worked on this product for maybe 7 or 8 years. What was interesting is during this time, what we observed was sellers on our marketplace creating ads that pointed to Amazon pages and not their own websites. And this was a really important sort of input for us that marketers were really looking to solve for discovery within the Amazon shopping experience. And so that has actually led to a lot of the product innovation that we're working on at the moment and giving marketers more opportunities to drive discovery within the shopping experience and driving traffic within the Amazon ecosystem.
It's an interesting perspective. Also from a case, I think you worked together on a Levi's and OMD case, which you probably can elaborate on a bit, how the success was.
Yeah, I think people very much underestimate the power and the promise that Amazon brings to the table as it stands. What we've seen is, first of all, it's the emergence of brand and performance. It's the first time that we're seeing this coming together. And we've been working with Google and Facebook and Pinterest, and it's something that we've been wishing for to happen. And Amazon, right off the gate, is speaking very, very well to those consumer goods companies that are trying to reach consumers, because Amazon is the kind of the solution of choice for the consumer. And what we've seen is almost every metric we've seen is just promising. You know, it's opening the opportunity and for everyone. And I think what we've seen is that, you know, whether it's about brand awareness or down to performance, key performance, cross-device, it just works. And again, it ties very well with the insights they already have and KPIs by which they measure. So Amazon is stepping into a well-educated environment where there is a new bucket of dollars coming in from the brand performance, from the brand world. So, you know, it's happy times for the industry, the way I see it.
So when people are on Pinterest, for example, they are very often like shopping without a purpose. So they're getting inspirations, they don't really know they want to go shopping, but it's a bit like that.
Yes, with the caveat, so they're shopping for something. They have an idea, they're looking to be inspired. And on our placement, you can have pure discovery where we are showing you results based upon your past activity. Because when you think about it, when someone pins, when someone saves something, they're effectively saying, this is so important to me, I want to tear that page out of a magazine and putting it up on a fridge. It's the exact same concept on Pinterest. People are saving. And ultimately, they're saving ads. Like, it's like the 1950s where you had an ad as a piece of artwork, but because it's helpful, people are saving it onto one of their boards to take action on. And so there's either passive discovery or there is active search on our platform, which is people either using keywords and intrinsically typing it into a search bar or using the camera as the avenue to search. I think the most interesting thing, so McKinsey & Co. just put out a study that effectively said that, you know, in today's age, there isn't a lot of brand loyalty. Most things are driven by shopping rather than loyalty to an individual brand. And what they saw was 70% of folks who switched from brand A to brand B did so because brand B got them at the first consideration point. And ultimately, that's where we are. Out of our 2.5 billion searches that we see on our platform, 97% of them are non-branded. So people know what they're looking for. They're looking for a table or a chair or new designs for their home or fashion or a recipe or a car, but they haven't created brand equity. So it's a really great opportunity for a brand to come in with upper funnel non-branded messaging and help them move down the funnel. And to Yoav's point, like, it is all complementary between the companies that we represent, that again gives a consumer the opportunity to really interact with us on their time and help them move through a decisioning journey that they might not be able to do with any one platform or by themselves.
Yeah, let me piggyback on that, actually. It's an important point that we're making, which is the distinction between brand and performance is starting to blur, and marketers have to be really good across the whole discovery funnel, right, from discovery all the way down to purchase. So let me share an example with you. For app developers, we have something called universal app campaigns that basically uses machine learning to automate marketing across YouTube, Google Play, Google Display Network, Gmail, and search across the whole funnel. And we just announced that that platform is performing 140% better than what people can do manually, and that we're moving all app download campaigns to this product using machine learning. So I think that's right. I think there's a lot of complexity now into orchestrating all of this together in the funnel, but now we can do it in an automated way across multiple platforms that delivers kind of the ROI and the brand metrics people want. So look out for more kind of interactions between kind of upper funnel, mid funnel, and lower funnel in a way that makes sense for marketers using machine learning.
So we're already here. It's going to be close to the end. So what is your recommendation? Let's start maybe with Amazon. What is your recommendation thinking about search? What would you do if you were a marketeer, knowing of all these kind of technologies, you're all kind of working together? What would you do? How would you structure a campaign that drives sales?
So I think across the group, there's sort of been a consistent message that customer journeys are non-linear. And while we think of a marketing funnel, it's a useful mental model to think about how you're investing your marketing dollars and what your strategy is. And I think in real terms, what we observe customers to do is not linear. And the transition between discovery and consideration through to purchase happens very quickly and can happen in different cycles. So I guess my top recommendation is to experiment often, iterate, and I think keep an open mind of all available tools available to you.
So there's no silver bullet yet on what we could do?
Well, I think that we've all talked about the importance of leveraging automation and machine learning. That's super important, but I also believe there's an art that is marketing, and the trick is, I think, honing in on what is really the art, how you can differentiate your brand and your products on top of what we can observe, machines can observe and can help us with scale.
Yoav, what is your idea on?
Go back to what marketing used to be. Think consumers first, customers first. Stop with all this channel kind of thinking, break the structure, and start thinking product brand to consumers. That's the number one by far.
So leveraging the data is more or less the answer, right?
You have to. Data and automation. Otherwise, you can't make it.
Michael?
So just to your point, the purchasing funnel was invented as we know it in 1904. So we're over 100 years from when that was first spoken about, when I would say consumer choices were pretty minimal about channels you can interact with and products you could buy. In a world where it is non-linear, you need to have the consumer at the center of everything you're doing. That is what marketing is. It's not putting up a text ad or a visual ad or a voice ad. It's not about just trying to hit them over the head or trick them into buying your product. It's about having an honest conversation and being authentic, like back to basics. And so I'd say test, iterate, try out, but there is no silver bullet of one marketing channel. It really is a combination of all of them, because your consumers are using all of them, and you can meet them in different places in different mindsets.
Years ago, I would have said, book Google AdWords. What would you say now, Niklas?
Sorry, I couldn't hear what you said.
Book Google AdWords and you're fine. That's what I would have said years ago. But today, what is your thoughts?
Yes. No, in all seriousness, with the complexity of research today and all the choices consumers have, search is more important than ever. So my advice is, really master search marketing and automate. As importantly, make your experience on your site and your apps world class. In the end, creativity is really important. Machine learning is really important. But the experience I have on your site when I arrive is really, really critical. And I think we have a lot of work to do as marketers, all of us, to really improve that. So automate, improve your experience on your site.
So you see, there's a lot of advice from these experts. If you want to talk to them, I'm quite sure you can find them at their booth, probably in the next, let's say, 6 hours, not more, because then they will be party on. I hope so you do some partying. You've done a great job. Thank you very much for being here, helping us out on search. Yeah, well done.